Christmas, everybody. I'm looking like Santa Claus. Not now. Well, today's my first shower in 27 days. And I'm going to be showering for 27 minutes. A minute for each day I haven't showered. I'm only teasing. Bet you some of you are thinking that too. Now, I shower every other day. If worse comes to worse, it's maybe 2 days. But if I got to stop in on the 30 and shower, that's what I'm going to do. So, I'm only teasing about the 27 days without a shower. Could you imagine? Wow. I wouldn't be surprised if someone hasn't done that either. Believe me, I've walked past some folks and it's like, whoa. Use the soap, pal. Anyway, I'm over here in Amarillo, just about to hit Amarillo, Texas, I-40 West. I found the Loves. The fuel was cheaper here than it was at the Flying J. So I decided to stop on in, get some fuel, grab a bag, take a shower, and I'm only, what am I? I did 542 miles today. I still got 2 hours and 28 minutes left. But why beat up my clock when I don't have to, right? So I don't have to be at the 90 till the 27th. And that's not till 6 o'clock at night or 1900 hours. So I'm actually going to ask the fleet manager tomorrow. Actually, you know what? Instead of asking the fleet manager, I'm going to call because there's a number. It's a FedEx place. See if I can come in. I'll see how anal they are about scheduling. See if I can come in as early as possible on Tuesday morning to dump this. And I mean, my goal is to get another load. This was paying very well, but I'd love to get another short run as I make my way back to the East Coast. Because a week from Thursday, I start my home time. So I've been out for 4 months, man. 4 months. It'll be 122 days by the time I go home. It's the longest stint. It actually went by faster than I thought it was going to be. I dreaded it at first, and the reason why I'm staying out for so long, because my car, I'm sure you've heard the story before, my car, I hit a deer, so I was getting a whole bunch of body work done. Well, not a whole bunch, but the fender, guy resprayed the hood. Both fenders on each side, resprayed the hood. And he's a small man shop. I'm not his only customer, obviously. So he had a lot of things going on. And he asked me when I dropped it off, when do you need the car back? And I said, in 2 weeks. He almost dropped dead. I said, what do you need? He's like, the longer the better. I said, how about like beginning of 23? His eyes lit up and said, if you could do that, I would really, really appreciate it. So I said, let's do it. I rented a car from Enterprise near me. I drove it to Pittston and dropped it off at the airport in Pittston, or near Pittston. And so I'm thinking I'm going to actually make some calls tomorrow. So far, the best quote I've gotten to get home, is Uber at $234, which is 121 miles. That's really not a bad rate. Now, if I rent the car from Enterprise again, they're going to bang me for a drop fee. And the drop fee last time for me was $300. So obviously right there and then, it's worth it to just take an Uber price-wise. But you know what? I wouldn't mind spending the money just to get home and drive at my pace. I've got my Easy Pass on me. Instead of being cooped up in somebody's car, that I don't know, and they could be driving 10 miles an hour for all I know. I don't know. I smell anti-gel because I put some anti-gel in. I gotta check that out, make sure the cap is closed. So that's why I stayed out as long as I did, because of the car. So not only am I getting body work done, I'm getting some mechanical stuff done, shocks, brand new exhaust system, a water pump. It's a kit for the Audis, because if you blow a belt or your water pump freezes up, it's an absolute catastrophe. Valves bend and whatever. So I'm doing that. I'm doing a couple other things, and I haven't heard from him. I'm sorry. He actually said, because I ordered shocks and springs for my car. He said, your springs in the rear are fine. We're not going to touch them. So I have an extra set of springs. What am I going to do with them? Put them on eBay? I mean, the whole rear kit only cost me $120, so it's not like it's an expensive item. So anyway, whatever. I'm so looking forward to getting home. I've had a good 4 months though, other than my truck, knock on wood, she's been really good since it went into the shop. I had a really good 4 months, made a lot of money. You know, I watch YouTube videos, especially the Prime ones. Everybody talks about money. You know, it's like, listen, here's the deal. You work hard, I don't care where you go, and you're smart with management, you're going to make money. I mean, I know people research and they want exacts and absolutes, and there's nothing exact and absolute in life. All I can tell you, as a man who came in here, never trucked before at 53 years old, I made a hell of a living. Could it be better? Of course, it can always be better, you know. But, you know, what's good for me may not be good for you. What's great for me may not be great for you. So on and so forth. So, yes, you can make money, and yes, there are people who are making good money, and there's people who are struggling. You know, the bottom line from my end, from my mouth to your ears is I work really hard. When I come out here, I don't play games. I manage my clock. My last stint was my first 34-hour that I ever had to sit with not being under a load. Usually 34 hours I can get to a place and I'm under a load getting paid to sit and reset my clock. This time I had to take a 34 because I had to go 2,000 miles in 4 days. And I really had to press the clock all the way to the end. And only had 45 hours to start. Whatever. So that was my first one in my trucking career that I had to absolutely do a reset because of clock. Yeah, you can make money, folks. I mean, you can make money. But, you know, there's always... I don't know what other people do. The ones that don't make money. I don't know if their relationship with their fleet manager is broken. I don't know if they mismanage their clock. I don't know if they have, you know, turned down loads because for whatever reason. If you don't turn down loads, you have a good relationship with your fleet manager. And mind you, your first 6 months is not going to be all gravy train, you know. I'm certain that the fleet manager that you work with and the folks around that whole 6-month thing, they're testing you. Are you staying in your sleeper berth too long? Are you safe? Are you on time? Are you, you know, I guess people complain, right? We all complain, but you don't complain. How do they, you know, do they act professionally? You know, there's a variety of, hey, listen, as a fleet manager, look at from your end. You don't know this guy from Adam. You probably, maybe you will, you maybe won't meet him. How do you know that you've got a good employee, a good worker that's underneath your name and underneath his trucks? He needs to know sooner than later what kind of person he's got working for him. Because ultimately, yes, it's a team, but he's one part of the team, you're the other part of the team. So he wants to know that the new team member that he's brought on is a good worker, period, the end. Will get there, won't complain, won't second guess, and is cooperative and is professional and all those things. So my first 6 months in the business wasn't the best. You know, after said and done, I wasn't bringing home the money I thought I was going to be bringing home. Then all of a sudden, things turned around. And then I started, you know, my money went up, my loads got better, so on and so forth. I began to trust him. If I had a shitty load in one area of the country, he would put me in an area where I was coming out with a better load, better paying. And that's the way it's been. I've never once questioned him. I never questioned them. I never asked them why, how, who, what, where, when, how. That's the way it goes. And we developed a cooperative, cohesive relationship. Now, from time to time, and maybe will sound braggadocious, from time to time, I talk to my old trainer, and because he's kind of close, he's always had, even when I was on the truck, he would always talk to our fleet manager, and, you know, from what I'm told, I'm adored, or lack of better words. You know, he's like, I wish I could create 30 of Henrys, you know, my fleet would be smooth. And again, because I put my head down and I work. That's the bottom line, folks. You know, I'm no better than anybody. I put my pants on one leg at a time. If I can do it, you can do it. It's just that I have work ethic. That's something that I've had my entire life. And if you have work ethic, I'm telling you, you will make money. Now, again, what that is to each individual is up to each individual to determine what great money is. But I mean, my first year making $70,000 after paying my taxes, after everything, if that's not good enough for you, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, maybe buy your own truck and good luck with all that. I'm telling you, I smell anti-Joe. That's the fact. So, you know, you can look at all the videos and all the YouTube from Prime, and one person can tell you it sucks. One person can tell you, I'm making tons of money. One person can say, it's all right, or whatever. Again, that's based on individual needs and your work ethic and your relationship with your fleet manager. Period. The end. So, again, as I said, without repeating myself 30 times, there is no exact. You can't look at me, and you can't look at the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. You can only get ideas of what it's going to be like. And I'm telling you, the secret to the solution is just to have a great, open, communicative relationship with your fleet manager, where he or she can trust you impeccably to get the job done. That's all they want to know, that you can get there on time, safely. You can get to your 90 on time and safely, not making excuses, I'm going to be late because of this, that, blah. Those are all unnecessary situations that can be avoided based on planning, all right? Learn to plan. Other than that, folks, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a range from 60 to 70 your first year as a lease operator, depending on what state, how many write-offs. I don't have a wife or kids. The more stuff like that you have, the more the write-offs can be, how aggressive your accountant is. There's a lot of things that come into play. But as I'm saying, my average per week, and I'm not going to give you exacts, I'm going to give you roundabouts, are about $2,400 a week, based on the bad weeks and the good weeks. You tell me where you can go and make that kind of money. I was talking to a young kid last night that I met in Winslow, Arizona, I believe it is, prime guy, and he kind of told me his circumstances. You know, he turned down a load because he saw the weather and it was going to be an ice storm. And I said, well, you know, you might have put your fleet manager in a predicament. What I said moving forward is take those loads, even though it may snow, try your best, and if it's not safe and you don't feel like you can drive the truck, just find a safe spot, pull over, communicate with them, and let them know, like, listen, I can't continue, the roads are icing over, there's too much snow. Because now, I told him, what happens is now he's got to search, or she has got to search for another person that's close to the 01. And what happens if the next closest truck is 600 miles away? Now, there's a good possibility that he's going to have to search other fleet managers, or I don't know what happens. I don't know the progress, whether it goes on the spot market to get that load covered. That puts him in a bind. That doesn't make for, you know, everlasting relationship. So he kind of understood my point and said, okay, I hear what you're saying. I don't turn down loads because it's going to snow, because there's ice and whatever. I'll take the load, and if I feel like it's unsafe to travel, I'll pull over and wait for the roads to clear and let them know what's going on. They have the radar. They're looking at the weather challenge just like we are. They know, and you don't use it as a BS not to get there on time. Oh, the weather's really bad, and they look and it's sunny. They know the time of day. All right, don't try to con anybody. All right, they're all adults. They all have, been doing this stuff for a long time. So just, I can't make it. I don't feel safe. Your safety, and Prime is on board with this, is their priority and your priority. Nobody wants you to push the envelope, get a load, and you trying to be a hero and get it there or get there, and you end up jackknifing and go into a ditch. Nobody. It's a lose-lose situation for everybody. Not only you, but Prime and the shipper. If you're loaded, and the receiver, it reverberates, if that's the word I'm looking for, throughout the whole trip. That trip is now totally wasted. Product loss of truck, trailer, and unfortunately, hopefully nobody lost their life. But if you're jackknifing a truck, you're going to get critical if you're lucky and not fired, and that's a blemish on your record. So, like I said, I told him, just take the load, and again, if you feel uncomfortable, you're driving, and all of a sudden becomes really bad, just shut it down. Let your fleet manager know what's going on, and they will appreciate that. All right? You can always take a 10-hour. By then, hopefully the roads are cleared up. If not, then you can't continue. But you're the captain of your ship, and it's so true. So I don't know about any other companies, but Prime is really anal about that. You are the captain of your ship. All right, I'm rambling on because I'm tired. I've been up since 11:30 last night, and it's time to take my first shower in 27 days. Just kidding. It's about 27 hours since my last shower, to be honest with you. But shave. I only shave once a week because I got sensitive skin. Even though I'm 56 years old, if I shave like every other day, it just rips apart my face. So I'd rather let it grow. Then it comes out nice and smooth. All right, BigH Trucking. Thanks for stopping by. Again, Merry Christmas, and I'm sure I'll send out a Happy New Year video. But hey, stay safe, make great decisions, and put your head down and work. That's how you make money in any industry. Put your head down and work. Bye.